All right, so today we are going to go into a new topic. All right, and the topic is called a polar coordinates. Okay, so this is going to be topic number 2. Okay, polar coordinates. Have you heard of polar coordinates before? Eh, 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 yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. So no. If it's no, then don't worry. Okay. I will go through the basics with you, and then we are gonna do some calculus regarding polar coordinates. All right. Okay. So okay. So what are polar coordinates? So polar coordinates is basically okay. Polar coordinates is basically a okay. It's a different way of representing curves. Okay, so it's a different way of representing curves using r and theta instead of using x and y coordinates. Okay, so it's a different way of representing curves whereby we use r and theta instead of using x and y. So basically, we're using r and theta means we are using trigonometry. Okay, we're using trigonometry to show curves or to show coordinates rather than using x and y. Okay, so an example is like so. So let's say I have a x and y x and y. So yeah, so x and y coordinate here. Okay, let's say it's 4 and 3. Okay, so 4 and 3. So the coordinate, as you know, this thing you must know. Okay, x and y coordinate. So the coordinate is 4, 3. Okay, now we can use polar coordinates to represent this exact same point. Okay, we can use polar coordinates to represent this exact same point. So I'm going to use green color to show how we do that. Sure. So if I want to use polar coordinates to represent this exact same point, what I do then is I will draw a line from 0, 0 until it crosses that 4, 3. So the information I'm gonna need to show is angle theta. Now, angle theta, are you able to get angle theta from here or not? Well, you know you got a distance of 4 here. You know you got a distance of 3 here. Are you able to get the angle theta?
Yes.
4, 3. If that's theta, then what is that? What is theta? Tangent theta equals to what? 3/4, right? Then you can get theta, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you can get theta, but that one information is not enough. You also need a distance. You need to know that distance as well. So that we're gonna call it R. So the R is basically that distance, which is the hypotenuse. How do you get the length of hypotenuse? R squared equals to 4 squared plus 3 squared. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So get R and theta. So basically, polar coordinates is using these two information to represent that exact same point. Okay. So the way you measure polar coordinates is, so there are some rules you have to follow. Okay, there are some rules you have to follow. Okay, when you're representing these points using polar coordinates. Okay, so the first rule is this. So the angle, when you measure the angle, when you're measuring the angle, this is always 0 degrees or 360 degrees or 360 degrees. Okay, and you measure it, the positive direction is anti-clockwise. Okay, the positive direction is anti-clockwise. Positive there. Okay, positive direction is anti-clockwise. Once you reach the first line, that is 90 degrees. If you keep going, then it's 180 degrees. If you keep going, then it's 270 degrees. Okay, now sometimes I don't use degrees. I do things in terms of pi. So if I do things in terms of pi, that means this is 2 pi here. Well, 0 or 2 pi, 0 pi or 2 pi. You get up to 90 degrees. What is 90 degrees in terms of pi? Pi over?
Pi over 2.
Yeah, pi over 2. Yeah. So sometimes I will do things in terms of pi. All right. So 180 degrees is how many pi? 1 pi, right? 270 degrees is how many pi?
Four over 3.
How many 3? 3 over 2 kan? Is it 3 over 2? You check.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So theta is angle measured anti-clockwise from your 0 pi or 0 degrees location. Okay. So if you go that direction, it's positive. So theta, yeah, is the angle measured anti-clockwise. So if you go anti-clockwise, then it's positive. You can actually also measure it clockwise, but it becomes negative. Okay, you can measure anti-clockwise, but it becomes negative. Okay. Now, what about R? What about R? Okay. So let's say I'm measuring distance of a point there, of that point there, and it gives me a value of R. Okay. If I flip it on the other side here, then it becomes negative R. Okay. So R can also be negative if you flip it on the other side, on the mirrored side. Okay. By 180 degrees. Okay, so let's do some quick examples to illustrate this. Okay, so plot this. Okay, so in polar coordinates, the first point is always R. The second point is always theta. Okay, so now in polar coordinates, when you solve the questions, you need graph paper. Okay, so for the next class, you prepare graph paper and protractor. Yeah. So next class, you prepare graph paper and protractor. Okay. Next class, prepare this. All right. So how do we actually plot this? Okay. So the way you plot this is on your graph paper. Well, if you have it with you, then that's good lah. You can start using it straight away. Okay. So if you have your graph paper and protractor, you can take them out now, and you can try to plot this. So the way you plot this is on your graph paper, you draw your straight line and you draw a vertical line. The straight line is 0 to 180 degrees. The vertical line is 90 degrees to 270 degrees. Okay, so you draw a line, a horizontal and a vertical line. Okay, next what you do is you take your protractor out. You take out your protractor. I used to have a protractor here on these apps. Tapi tiada sudah. Yeah, tiada sudah. Never mind. Okay. You take your protractor out. The first thing you plot is actually you plot the theta first. Okay. You take you draw this cross on your graph paper. You take out your protractor. The first thing you normally plot is the theta. You do the theta first. Okay. So 2 over 3 pi. 2 over 3 pi, how many degrees? How many degrees?
120.
120 degrees. Okay. So you put your protractor, you put the center of the protractor in the center of that cross. Then you see where is 120. Then you draw a line to represent the 120. So that would be your no. So that would be your 275. Next, once you've done the theta, then you plot the r. The r is radius, okay? Now, normally, the r is unitless, so you can use whatever unit you want. It doesn't really matter, okay? It can be 1 inch. 1 inch is fine, I think, but don't use millimeter. Millimeter is too small. Maybe you can use cm lah. Okay, you can try use cm, but normally in this case 1 is macam, it's like it's like when you plot your coordinates, it's unitless. Okay, so this one also unitless. You can use 1 cm lah. So you put your ruler so that it lines up with this line here. You see where is the distance 1 measured from the 0 point, measured from this, or this center point, we call it origin. Okay, this center point we call it origin. Okay, so you put your ruler and you measure from the origin out along that line. You measure 1 cm, and then that would be your coordinate there. 1, 2/3 pi. Okay, so that's how you plot. Any questions?
So far, good, Doctor.
Okay, so let's do another one. Okay, plot okay, plot 3 negative pi/4. Okay, so the way you do this is same. You take your graph paper, you draw across. So you always do the theta first. In this case, what is the theta? Negative pi/4. So that's what? So that's negative 45 degrees. That is negative 45 degrees, right? So negative 45 degrees. So as I said earlier, if it's negative, so you go clockwise direction from 0 degrees. Okay, so it's going to be so you put your protractor at the origin. Negative 45 degrees will be somewhere there. That is negative pi/4. Okay, then the same, you put your ruler at the origin, you measure a distance of 3, then that's your point. Okay, then that's your 3 negative pi/4. Okay, next, maybe one more. Okay, so for this one, plot negative 2 pi/3. Okay, so same. Do your cross thing. So this one, so always plot the theta first. So this theta is pi/3. What is pi/3? How many degrees is pi/3? 60.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so from the origin, put your protractor there. Put your protractor there. Measure 60 degrees. It's gonna be something like this. So that is your pi/3. But the r is negative 2. What do you do? If you do it this way, if you measure this as 2, that is 2. Okay, so what did I say negative is? So if it's negative, what you have to do is you measure the 2 first. Then to get -2, what you do is you flip this point by 180 degrees to the other side. You extend the line on the other side by 180 degrees. -2 is on the other side. Okay, that is -2. Everyone okay so far?
Okay, doctor.
Okay, so one last one. One last question. One -3 pi. Okay, so always plot out the theta first. So 3 pi is how many degrees? It's 360 plus 180, right? That's how many?
540.
Yeah, 540. Yeah, okay. So, but it's negative, huh? It's a negative direction. So what you do is you have to go anti-clockwise downwards. So you do like that. That is 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. That is your -3 pi. So your line is along there, the horizontal axis. Okay, and then the distance, the radius is 1. So you just from the origin, you measure a distance of 1. Therefore, that is your 1 -3 pi. Okay. All right. So, so these are all the different possible examples lah. Okay, of how you can plot polar coordinates. All right. Now next I want to talk about. So as I sort of hinted earlier, you can actually convert between the two. Okay, so what you can actually do is you can actually convert between your what I will call Cartesian coordinates, which is your x and y. So yeah, so you can convert between Cartesian coordinates and polar coordinates, which is your r and theta. Okay, so you can convert between the two. So to do the conversion, you need to know a few formulas. So the formulas I sort of laid out just now, sudah. Okay, there's the tangent theta punya. Okay, so that one is from here. So as you know, when you have x and y axis, and I have a point there, which is I don't know, point xy. So that means the distance is x. Sorry, the horizontal distance is x, the vertical distance is y. Okay, so if I were to represent this in terms of polar, it would be an angle theta and a radius. Okay, so So basically what you have here is you have your norm, so what you have here is you have your typical triangular or your trigonometric relationship whereby this is x, this is y, this is r, this is theta. So you can draw a whole load of relationships here. Okay, so the first relationship we can draw from here is we know that tangent theta is equals to y over x. That's relationship 1. We can have a second relationship for cos. What is cos? Anyone? Cos is what? Quick.
Y over R.
Cos. X or y? Cos.
X.
Yeah, x over r. Yeah. So you can rearrange. You can rearrange it to get r. You can rearrange it to get x is equals to r cos theta. Yeah. Next, the third one you can equally repeat the same for sine. So sine is y over r. Yeah. You can rearrange it to get y is equals to r sine theta. Okay, and the fourth and final relationship is the what do you call this? That's Pythagoras. Yeah, Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so Pythagoras theorem says that hypotenuse squared equals to x squared plus y squared. Yeah, so you have these 4 relationships basically. Okay. So you can use these 4 relationships to convert between polar and Cartesian. All right. So let's do example doing the conversion. Let's say I have a point 4 pi over 6. This is polar or Cartesian?
Polar.
Ya, polar kan. Kenapa polar?
The coordinate is r and theta.
Yeah, because you have a theta there kan. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You have a pi there. Pi means you have a theta lah. Yeah. So it's polar. Okay. So convert to Cartesian coordinate. Okay. So I have this polar, convert to Cartesian coordinate. Okay. So the process is like this. Okay. To convert, yes, some of you will be tempted to apply the formula straight away. Okay, you can apply the formula straight away, you can get an answer straight away. But it's very dangerous to do that way. Okay, I will show you why. Later on, there's an example. That will demonstrate to you exactly why that is dangerous to do. Okay, you cannot convert straight away. Before you convert, so the step is, even though I didn't ask you to plot, I want you to plot first. Okay, so in the question, I didn't ask you to plot anything. I just asked you to convert. However, to be safe, the first step is always to plot. Always plot. plot out this polar first. Or if it's Cartesian, then plot out the Cartesian point first. Okay? Later on, you will know why. All right? So always plot first, no matter what. So let's plot this point. Pi over 6 is how many degrees? 30, guys. Okay. So you draw across, you put your protractor there, you draw 30 degrees. So that's your pi over 6, 30 or 30 degrees. And then you measure 4. So that is your point. Okay? So next, baru you convert. Okay? Always plot before you convert. All right? So how do you convert? So when you do conversion, basically you want to go from r and theta to x and y. Okay? So you want to make sure you fully eliminate the r's and thetas, and you want to be left with x and y's. Okay? So let's go back to our 4 formulas here. Which formula do you think I can use? Straight away, you see x, y. Do you see x and y there? Equation 2 and equation 3, x and y. I straight away apply these two, I get the answer. So yeah, so I know x is equals to r cos theta. I know y is equals to r sine theta. So r is what? 4 kata tadi. Okay, 4 cos pi over 6, and y is 4 sine pi over 6. Okay, what is 4 cos pi over 6? Quick calculator. So on your calculator, I want you to change your I want you to change so that change the mode so that it displays the answer in math format. So maksudnya I don't want decimal points. Okay, I want it to display the exact answer, because if you give me decimal point answer, it's an approximate answer. Okay, decimal point answer is an approximate answer. I want the exact answer, so it has to be a round number. Okay, so cos pi over 6 times 4 actually gives you the exact answer is 2 square root 3. Okay, you change the mode in your calculator to math, it will give you this answer. All right. Next, y is 4 sine pi over 6. You do that in your calculator, it's going to give you how much?
2.
Yeah, 2. Okay. So therefore, what is your xy coordinate? Two square root 3. Okay, so we finished the conversion, but there is one more step. Step 3, you need to check. You need to check your answer to make sure it's correct or not. The way you check is, this answer is Cartesian, kan? So you basically plot it out again, but in x and y. Cartesian. So 2 square root 3 is 2 point something. So maybe somewhere there. And then 2 is there. So your 2 square root 3, 2 is there. Now you compare to step 1. Okay, it's roughly the correct place lah. Roughly the correct place. Okay, roughly the correct place. Yeah, you can see it's you know it's roughly the correct place because this is in the first quadrant. That is also in the first quadrant. So if you do it on a graph paper, you can check exactly whether the answer matches up or not. Okay. Now I want you to try this one. -2 pi/4. Okay, convert. Okay, so convert to Cartesian. So this one is polar because there's a pi in there. Okay, so you straight away you know it's polar. So therefore convert to Cartesian coordinate. Okay. So same thing. First step, always plot. Plot, convert, check. So plot. Okay, you should know how to plot this. Okay. You should know how to plot this. There's a negative there, -2, but you should know how to deal with it. Okay. So maybe do it on your own. Give you 10 minutes to do it on your own. Okay. We will meet back here again at 9:06. Okay. So I'll give you 10 minutes to do this. We'll meet back here at 9:06 and then someone can tell me the answer. In the meantime, Ryan, where did Ryan go?
Hello?
Oh, I saw you message now. Okay, but you're back.
Sorry, disconnected.
Okay. Yeah. So give this a go. Okay, we meet back here at 9:06. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes. At the meantime, I will also share the attendance. All right. So pay attention to the chat box. Okay, I will also show the attendance here. Anyone?
Got.
Got that?
Got, Doctor.
Okay. So wait, let me share my screen. All right. So what's the answer? Okay. Yep. So what's the answer? So when you're plotting it, what did you get? Is it in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third, or fourth? quadrant?
Third quadrant.
Third quadrant. Okay, good. All right. So correct. Yeah. So that's correct. So the way you plot it is, you do the pi over 4 first, which is pi over 4 is how many degrees?
45.
45 kan. Yeah. So you draw your 45 degree. And then you extend it on the other side, in the other quadrant, and then you measure your 2. That would be your -2 pi over 4. Okay, so the point is there in the third quadrant, correct? Yep. Okay, so next, convert. Okay. Okay, how do you convert it? Simple. You can use the exact same formula. X is equals to r cos theta. So it's what? -2 cos pi over 4. What does that give you? Negative?
-2 square roots.
Yep. -2. Y? Blah, 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 blah. You also get negative square root 2, right?
Yes.
So now we double check the answer. You plot this in Cartesian. X, Y. Negative means it's there. So it's also in the third quadrant. Okay, so yeah, your answer is fine. All right. Okay. Next question. Okay, this one pay attention. Make sure all of you are back. Okay. Pay attention to this one, because this one we are going the other way around. So I have -1 and 1. Okay, this is what? Polar or Cartesian?
Polar.
Cartesian.
Cartesian.
Tiada pi sudah. So convert to polar. Okay, so now we are going the other way around. We are going from Cartesian to polar. But the steps are the same. Step 1, plot. Okay. So you plot. So obviously this is Cartesian. So you plot on the Cartesian one. Cartesian coordinate system first. So -1 and +1. So the -1 is along the x-axis, so it's going to be here, and then the +1 is here. So the point is there in the second quadrant. All right. Next, we convert. Okay, we convert. So when you're converting, basically you're so for this one you're going the other way around. That means, so what it means is you're going from xy to r theta. So now you need to look for, go through the two formulas earlier. And what are the two formulas that you can use?
Pythagoras and tangent.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So so what, the first and the fourth, right? The first will give you theta, right? The first one will give you y over x or x over y? Y over x, right? Y over x ka? Y over x or x over y? Siapa?
X over Y.
Y over
X over Y kah?
Y over X.
All right, okay. Okay, so you do this, you're gonna get theta. Next, next, yes, correct. Someone mentioned Pythagoras theorem, the Pythagoras theorem one just now, the fourth equation. Yep, so correct. So you do this, you should get theta and r. Okay, so do this, calculate. Let me know. What's the answer? Okay. So what is theta? Simple. 1 over -1 kan. So what is theta? Negative? Quick.
Negative 45.
35 or 45?
45.
Yeah, 45. Or -5/4, right? Okay, and R? What is R? So R is square root 1. Sorry. So R is square root is -1 squared plus 1 squared. So it's what? Negative? And so it's what? Square root?
2.
Okay. So the answer is 2 -5/4. All right. Okay. 3. Check answer. Yep. So 3 check answer. So now we are plotting polar. So plot polar. -5/4 is where? Sebelah sini kan? Yeah, -5/4. And then 2 square root 2 is there. So the answer is where? It's in the fourth quadrant, right? Yeah, it's in the fourth quadrant. Now go back to step 1. The question is the Cartesian one is in where? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
3.
2. Your answer is where?
4.
Correct or not? something went wrong, right? That's why it's important. Yeah. So that's why it's important to check your answer. Okay. As you can see, something went very wrong somewhere, but we don't know where. Okay. Who can tell me what went wrong? Who can tell me what went wrong? Anyone? What went wrong? Okay. In the next 30 seconds, anyone who can tell me, anyone who can explain to me what went wrong, I will give him an A for this course straight away. Don't have to attend class, don't have to attend test, don't have to attend final exam. Anyone? 30 seconds.
Sir?
Yeah?
The R value is negative, right?
The R value berapa negatif? Positif kan?
Sebab saya guna formula yang cos theta tu untuk X.
Cos theta.
Cos theta X over R.
Okay, you can use that one as well. But the problem is yang ini masih salah kan? The problem is actually there. Masalahnya di sini. Okay, so so the problem is like this. Anytime you deal with trigonometry, okay, so anytime you do like macam ni, yeah, so anytime you do like this, anytime you solve, yeah, this type of question, anytime you solve this type of question, you do it on your calculator. What answer did your calculator give you? Negative?
Negative 45.
Yeah, negative 45, correct. Tapi sebenarnya, there's more than one possible answer. It's like this. You remember when we did this? Remember 1 or 2 weeks ago we did this, or last week we did this. Apa pula salah? R squared equals to 1. What is R? I told you there's two possible answers kan?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the same here actually. Even though your calculator only gives you one answer, there's actually a few possible answers. Actually, no. There's actually an infinite number of answers. There's actually infinite number of answers. Okay, let's do reverse. When you do 10, okay, I want to prove to you that there's a few possible answers. Okay, when you do 10 negative pi over 4, what do you get? You do 10 negative pi over 4. You should get negative 1. Do you get negative 1? Do 10 pi negative pi over 4 on your calculator, what do you get?
Negative 1.
Yeah, correct, negative 1. Okay, now I'm going to prove to you that there's more than one possible answer. Okay, you try to do 10 3 pi over 4, what do you get? 3 pi over 4 berapa degrees? I don't know. You do 3 pi over 4. I think 120 degrees or something like that. What do you get?
$135. Is it 135?
Yeah, 135. But tangent 135 is what? What's the answer?
Negative 1.
Yeah, negative 1 you got. Yeah. There's a lot more. You do 10, I don't know. 10. Yeah. There's basically a lot of possible answers. Okay. But what I've shown you here is I give you two possible examples. So you see, actually when you try to look for theta, calculator only give you this answer, negative pi over 4. But actually 3 pi over 4 is also an answer. But your calculator didn't give you the answer. Okay, because the reason for that is because there's a lot of possible answers. Calculator can only give you one. It cannot give you all the possible answers. Yeah, it can only give you one. But actually, in reality, there's a lot of possible answers. So okay, faham? So that is why we need to draw. We need to plot out the original question first, so that we know which quadrant our point is, so that we choose the correct answer. Dua-dua betul. Dua-dua ini betul. Negative pi over 4 betul. 3 pi over 4 pun betul. But we need to choose the correct one. So if I went with the calculator punya choice, negative pi over 4, then salah sudah. Yeah. But if I went with 3 pi over 4, so let's go back to step 2. So step 2, okay, I don't want the pi over 4 answer. I want the 3 pi over 4 punya answer. So now I'm saying my answer is this. Then where are you going to plot the point? 3 pi over 4 is there. Now, which quadrant is 3 pi over 4? Quadrant 2. Is this the same as the question? Yes. Sekarang baru. So now it's correct. So the correct answer is this. Okay. This is the correct answer. Any questions? Any questions? Semua faham kah? You know what just happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically the problem here is when you do tangent theta equals to -1 and you try to find theta, there's actually a lot of possibility. Can be negative pi over 4, can be 3 pi over 4, and non-stop. Banyak lagi. Okay, you need to choose the correct one. Okay, that's the problem. Next, okay, so semua faham? So no questions?
Doktor.
Ya.
Yang ada banyak possible answer tu hanya tangent saja kah? Atau dia boleh atau sin dengan cos pun begitu juga?
Sebenarnya setiap kali, now for the x and y kan, now when you say sin and cos, sine and cos, you don't have that problem because when you go back to the previous question, you are looking for x. You are not looking for theta. You cari x, you cari y. So tiada masalah macam tu. The only time you have that problem is when you look for theta. So doesn't matter whether you're doing tangent theta, cos theta ka, sin theta ka. When you're looking for angle, when you're looking for theta, you will get the same problem. Anytime you look for theta, you will get the same problem. Doesn't matter tangent theta, cos theta, sin theta. So kena jaga sikit lah. But if you're looking for x, x is r cos theta. But if you're calculating x, r you know, theta you know, you just want x, then there's no problem. Okay, it's only when you need to look for theta, you have this problem. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, there's actually one more question you're supposed to ask me, but you didn't ask me, so now I'm gonna tell you. Sebenarnya, you need to ask me one more question. Okay, the question that you're supposed to ask me is this. The question that you're supposed to ask me is this. So just now the question is like that. Tan theta equals to -1. Yeah. You want to look for theta. So you in your calculator. You buat macam ini kan. Then dia bagi negative pi/4 kan. You're in your calculator. That's what you did, right?
Yes.
So the question that you're supposed to ask me is, since the answer that your calculator, the question that you're supposed to ask me is, since the answer that your calculator gave is wrong, how do you know which one you're supposed to try? Okay, in my case, I know because I'm the one who said the question. I know you're supposed to try this one, 3 pi/4. Then you're going to get -1 juga. But in test and exam, how do you know which is the next one to try? How do you know 3 pi/4 is also equals to -1? You don't know, right? You don't know, kan?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you know? So the way you can know is, you take the first answer. Okay, so let's say in your calculator, okay, you do the thing in your calculator. You got -pi/4. Okay, you got -pi/4. So you plot -pi/4. You plot it here. Tapi salah. Yeah, it's in the fourth quadrant. Salah. You want the second quadrant. So how? So the next thing you need to try is, you take the original answer. Okay, you take the original pi/4 answer. You tambah pi to it. Okay, no matter what question, no matter what is the question, no matter what is the original answer, you add 180 degrees to it and then you try. Okay, so in this case, -pi/4 plus negative pi/4 plus pi is what? 3 pi/4 kan?
Yes.
Okay, so you just add pi to it, you get an answer. Next, you take that answer, you try to do this. See whether you get -1 or not. If you get -1, that means that is another possible answer that you should have tried. Faham kah?
Yes.
The trick is, if your first answer is wrong, you take your first answer, you add 180 degrees to it, and then you try to see the answer, whether it's correct or not. Okay? The trick is the 180. You add 180 no matter what. Okay? Okay.
Good.
Okay. So my suggestion is, you go back. Okay, sebelum raya, maybe right now, we still have 25 minutes or 24. We still have 24 minutes left. Okay. Revise. Do all of this on your own. Make sure you can get the same answer as me. Okay, especially this last one. Make sure you understand what is going on. Okay. Kalau ada soalan lagi, you can ask me next Monday. Okay. Jumaat tiada kelas ah. Jumaat I let you off, no class. We will meet again next Monday. Tapi next Monday maybe face to face sudah. I will confirm. I will let you know. Okay. Friday no class. Our next class is next Monday. Whether it's online or face to face, I will let you know on WhatsApp later. Okay, later in the week. Okay, but we still have 24 minutes left. Make sure you revise. Go through all this in the next 24 minutes. Then you can start prepare for your Raya holidays. Okay.
Alright,
Okay, so have a happy holiday. Make sure you've done the attendance. All right. I will see you next week. Okay, Selamat Hari Raya, everyone, to those who are celebrating, and happy holidays to those who are not celebrating.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you,
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.